This is Ron from Ron's Workshop. Today I'm going to be showing you the complete workings of an old antique train. And as you can see, there's a lot of parts, and this is the engine, which is made up out of a whole bunch of little parts, and including doweling and smokestacks and hoods and cabooses or engines, and that's just that. And then we have these parts. This is just supply parts that are going to a customer, and they're any shape that you want to make. And this here is actually lava rock. It looks like coal, so that's great. You put it in a little box. And this stuff is just ordinary tree trunks, and this is the logs that they'll be carrying as part of their shipment. We'll start right off with doing the log pieces. As I said, I just get ordinary sticks, cut them to about 6 inches, and get a bunch to fill up a pile. And that should probably be enough. Now I'll sand them and turn them into logs. The very next thing I'm going to be doing is putting a hook and eye on each part of the train parts. So it's actually an eye that I've cut a small section out so that it makes a hook, so that you have a hook and an eye that hooks the stuff together. So before I forget, I'm going to be putting these on all of the train parts. And you'll put a hook on one end, and an eye on the other end. Put a hook and an eye on one on each end, except for the engine part, which is slightly different than the basic other part. This is the engine part, and you just need an eye on the back of it, so that eventually all this stuff will hook together like so. And what we have here are 3 identical parts for the carriers, and this is the engine. I've already pre-drilled these to put the dowels in. The holes are bigger than a 1/4 inch, so that there is flexibility in the wheels, because the wood will swell. So that's the 4 basic parts, and we'll start them off. The very first one will be for cutting the tree branches, a place to put them. So I have one completed one here where I have put the wheels in, and I have put some doweling on the sides. I drilled holes for the 1/4-inch doweling. These are about 2 inches long. And with this, and you put your trees that you so very carefully ground, and just stick them in here. And to hold all these so that they don't fall off, just put an elastic band on it. The next set is the place to hold the coal. And again, I have pre-drilled thing. And to hold the coal, you need to have pieces of wood about 5 inches, 1.25 inches, 2 long pieces and 2 short pieces to fit on the ends, like so. And I'll glue them. Okay, I'm just going to put it in a vise and clamp it so that it stays nice and tight together. It'll take about 10 minutes to set this really solid. And this has worked just fine. So we'll leave that down for a few minutes. Okay, the glue is dried now and it's pretty solid. And I'm just going to sand it off and square the edges and make it look smooth and that. So here we go. Now we can stick this on the main body. Okay, this is the second piece of the platform. So I've cut the dowels to fit, and I'm going to be putting some of this yellow glue in a little pot. Yellow glue is much better than the white glue. It's much stronger. It sets faster, and it's an all-around purpose wood glue. I'll let that sit a few minutes. And while it's kind of setting, I'll put some glue on this. That will be the second set. This is for the coal. You just set this in the middle of the platform and press down on it for a second or two. Put a weight on it. Just for a few seconds. That should help hold it while I'm putting the wheels on. Now while the whole thing is drying a bit, I'll put this off to one side and put a weight on it for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I can start on the third part. That's for the coal. This third piece will be for putting the supplies on. You can use anything for supplies that you want. You can put whatever catches your fancy. I've got some square pieces and some round pieces. And from this, I'm going to be drilling some holes in the top of this to hold these pieces on top. So before I put the wheels on, I'm going to be drilling some holes here. I'm going to be putting a 1/4-inch dowel into one of these posts here. I'll be putting 2 posts in. Okay, in some cases wood does split and you have an accident, and you don't have to replace the whole piece. You can just grind this off. That's what I'll do now. I'm going to be putting a 1/4-inch portion of it, just partially the way down. I'm going to put 2 little dowels in here to hold those supply parts. So that's what I'll be doing now, 1/4-inch dowel. Okay, I'm going to be setting the depth on this to part way, and I want to only go down. I don't want to go all the way through. So I'm going to be setting the stop on this. And lock this so it doesn't go down anymore. And then we're ready to go. I've just cut these dowels a couple of inches, and this is for the supply that will hold the supplies. So I just put a dab of glue in it. While that's drying, I'll put some wheels on. The wheels, I didn't make these wheels. You can buy these in a hobby shop, any local hobby shop. And I'll just put them on while this is drying. Put it in, put the second one on, and while it's drying, the second set of wheels Okay, while this is drying and the wheels seem to be working very well, I'll go back to one of my other pieces, and this is for the coal. So this is all nice and dry now, so I can put some coal in it. And I can hook it up to this. This is where the hook and eye comes. So now we have two pieces hooked together. And we also did the first piece that we started with. And we can hook it in. So now all we have to do is put some supplies on this, which in this case is almost anything that you want to put on. I've cut some little pieces of wood, oval shaped, and I also have some square pieces. Make them different colors if you can. They look a little more authentic. This is the front of the train. This is the cab, and you can cut this out with a scroll saw, and it has windows and all that stuff. So you can glue that on. Just glue it on, and it will stay. When you have a little cutout like this, you have to make sure that it goes over the back part of the wheels. And that's fine. Just press down on it lightly. A few seconds. And you can put the wheels on. This is nearly dry now. Okay. You have to put this little facer on in front of the cab. Just a half moon thing. Just sort of so that the man can see out, and it just gives it a bit. And the next piece is a piece of doweling that I've just cut a slice off, and I've also drilled a 5/8 hole in it. Now this will be fitting on here, and this is a smokestack that you can buy at the hobby shop, and it will fit in there like so. So you can put a lot of this glue on right now. Just press this. That will sit on there like so. Meantime, you can put the wheels back on, the second set of wheels. This is a normal dowel for the back part of the engine, and because of this cutout, the dowel is a little bit shorter, so I've just cut a piece. I did have one, so I can put the wheels on it. Okay, the smokestack should be dry by this time. When that's drying a little bit, you need something on top of the cab, a roof. When you do make one of these, make it different colors of wood. It looks a lot better. I'm going to wait on it for a few seconds. Now we're coming to the front of the engine pretty soon. So while these parts are drying, you can cut out a couple of pieces like this. This fits in front of, and this slot goes in between the wheels. It fits like that. Then this piece sits on that. And it has to be glued separately. So you glue that. I've glued these two pieces together, and now I'm going to glue them onto the very front. This slot, this cutout here, fits on top of the wheels. So that's the reason for that cutout. So I'll put some glue on the back of this. While we're waiting for that to dry, you can put on a little back step that fits on here. I have another little piece. You can also buy it from a hobby shop. In this case, I'm going to be using it as a headlight for the train. And I'll just stick it on the front. Okay, it looks like we used up all the parts, and we got a little train, and it's just ready to be hooked up and see if it works. And there we have a train. Lots of fun, and you can verify this or stain it or paint it or any color. The logs should be sealed of some sort because they will fall apart. So this is Ron signing off. Thank you very much for watching the show.